Stevie Garcia, good morning. If you're still on the road out there, hope you're doing well. You and the guys are being safe, all that stuff, and having fun. You know. All right, just a brief update on your GA-5. So the tech who was in here prior did a pretty decent job. A little, I'm not going to say sloppy, because I like the quality of his solder joints. And in particular, he did a really beautiful chassis solder joint here. And it looks broken from the, excuse me, angle of the camera, but that's not the case here in person. But a couple nits to pick. I know they did it back in the day, but I don't like tying all the grounds together. I don't like combining the power amp with the preamp grounds. I don't like the fact that the cathode bypass resistor and cap are tied to the input jack. I don't like that this hot resistor is literally baking this little 85-degree Illinois cap here. This is going to be some big trouble. Your original, let's see here, pardon me. Your original foil caps are not leaking whatsoever, which is really nice. They did a good job on these caps, whoever produced them. Everything else looks pretty good. I will say this, however, that you're pulling 45 milliamps through this resistor here, and working the numbers out, you know, the max you want to have a cathode biased amp like this running at is like 100% of its rated plate dissipation. That's it. And even then, it may be pushing it for some folks, especially on a smaller wattage amp like this, where you're going to be running this thing full tilt. It's running about, you know, 114%, so 14% over max. If you're looking at a 14-watt tube at 100%, this thing's running over 16. So keep that in mind. I need to back this down, so I recommend changing this cathode resistor and the accompanying bypass cap to a better spec'd set, and also let me ground this thing in a more appropriate area. That way we can maybe knock some of this 120 down. Other than that, your problem is resolved again. About 5 broken solder joints, several of which I had to completely remove the solder because the prior tech just overcooked them. And then we had a couple here. So being that these are essentially, it's set up on a suspension, as this thing moves, it's gonna tug on everything else that's attached to it. So, and that's sort of what we were looking at, but you're good to go now. It's full tilt, a little microphonic. That's okay, it's not causing you any issues. It's a lively tube. So I'll give you a further update later. So I was able to remove about 4 decibels of 120 from this Gibson.
Buzz, are you okay?
Gone! It's all gone. All of it's gone. Bye-bye. Woo, see ya.
What happened?
Corrected the bias issue. This was the quietest place for me to ground it. And this is going to extend the life of this nice little mod cap here. I split the preamp power supply node from the rest of the amps, from the power amps. Also, I reran some of the signal wire to minimize noise, corrected some cold and broken solder joints that was causing your main issue. What else? else? What else? And that's about it.